Well, this sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but some here in Northeast Ohio insist they've seen unidentified flying objects here, saying we're even in a hot spot for sightings.
Okay, so science fiction or the real deal? What do you think? Recent study found a majority of Americans, about 56%, believe UFOs are real.
Live on your side, investigator Joe Paganakis introduces us to some local people who think they've captured something on their cameras from out of this world.
Catching the unexplained, the unidentified on video.
And I seen this light come out of like the lake.
Northeast Ohio UFO videographers sharing their images online.
It ain't no plane.
No. Hey, everybody check this out.
Hey, yo, come here, y'all. Look at this.
Raising questions and commentary from skeptics, believers, and the open-minded.
There's another one. There's a third one.
That we may not be alone.
What I saw, I can't explain.
Some don't try to define what they've recorded.
That's above my pay grade.
While others are sure what they captured with their camera.
Wait. Oh, do we have three?
Is not from this world.
And there were 3 saucers above me, one on each point of an equilateral triangle.
Each of the UFO videographers we talked to say their sightings changed their lives.
Within 7 minutes or so, it disappeared. And then it came back.
But as you might guess, not all of their family and friends believe what is pictured here is an actual UFO.
So this actual activity has been going on over Lake Erie for a very long time.
Videos of UFOs shot by Michael Lee Hill, a native of Eastlake, have generated hundreds of thousands of views, even featured on the History Channel.
You can see this ball of light come down, and all of a sudden you can see its reflection on the lake.
These were orange, they were solid, nothing blinking, and no sound at all.
Just last year, Nate Ellis used his cell phone to capture this formation of unexplained lights hovering over his Cleveland home.
Trying to think of anything logical. Maybe it could be drones, maybe it could be flares or something like that. But again, the way they were moving, it was just a difference. And then they were in a formation.
I was amazed. I didn't know what to think.
Sam Phillips of Brooklyn captured one of Northeast Ohio's most talked about sightings over Key Tower in downtown Cleveland.
So what the hell is it?
During a peace vigil in March of 2007.
There it goes.
Dozens of people saw what appeared to be an unexplained object.
But I never seen one like it. And the tape does not pick up the brightness.
I believe that this area in the outer Cleveland here is a hot spot.
Dale Harder with Cleveland's Ufology Project, one of the world's oldest UFO organizations, established in 1952, actually investigates sightings in this region of the United States. Harder says sighting statistics from the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON, show Ohio in the top 5 for UFO reports. And while Harder believes some UFO sightings are legitimate, he also says growing camera technology is generating plenty of fakes.
Everybody's carrying a cell phone these days, and everybody's picking things up. Aside from those that like to perpetrate hoaxes, there is a lot of garbage out there, so you have to be careful.
Oh, I see it's right there.
Meanwhile, Ellis takes a more practical approach to his video sighting, unwilling to even try to explain what he saw that night on the Cleveland skyline, only asking everyone to keep an open mind.
And I definitely look up. Well, you never know, man. You can catch something. Who knows what you'll catch next time.
Reporting on the skies over Northeast Ohio, Joe Paganakis, News 5.
Well, the Cleveland Ufology Project holds its next meeting Saturday, May 18th. It's at the Tri-C West campus. That's in Parma. Starts at 7:30.
Okay, hey, very interesting topic there. A lot of people into it.
Mm-hmm. That's your relatives coming down to pick you up for the weekend?
I was going to say, Mark said the mothership's coming for him tonight.
Right.
So,
well, I'm on my way back to my home planet.
So, in other words, when you're recording this thing, I mean, it seems to me over and over, a lot of the video that I've looked through, and I'm a novice, of course, is that this video was in formation. A lot of times these sightings, they're in a formation. Is that kind of what you've experienced, or what?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, you know, we spoke, and I've been contacted by what's been called the Secret Pentagon UFO program that gave $22 million to Bigelow Aerospace. And I learned a lot. And they said, yeah, these orbs go into these fleets or these multiple ones. And they're showing up worldwide. And so I learned a lot from them as well. But yes, they very much, working with the History Channel, I started to accumulate all this footage that were happening over all these major cities like Texas and Houston and Mexico and Niagara Falls and in the UK. And in the news, they're all being shown as isolated events, like they have nothing to do with one another. But when you put them back to back, well, they're all flying in the same formations and they're all the same objects. So I guess that's what we're doing now, is putting two and two together for people, because the Pentagon and the UK Ministry of Defense, I can tell you, they know that this phenomenon is showing up worldwide right now, and they've been studying it. Everyone just type in Bigelow, Robert Bigelow and 60 Minutes, and you'll see that the CEO of Bigelow Aerospace, who was funded $22 million by the Pentagon secret UFO program, he was just on 60 Minutes, and man, he spilled the beans. So this isn't, people like to look at this as some kind of woo-woo thing. No, this is real, So thank you, actually, for taking this so seriously.
Oh, absolutely. So when you first saw this, is Lake Erie a hot zone in your mind?
Yes. For so many different reasons, but I can tell you, after, my footage started to go viral, I was contacted by the History Channel. That led to being featured on the History Channel. Well, that led to being contacted by the NSA. And they've been studying this subject for a very long time, and they know that it's a real deal. And so the reason I'm saying this, the head of this program, his name was A.R. Borden, and he said, what is underneath you in that area that you're in, East Lake, Ohio? I said, well, no, not really. He said, it's the oldest underground base in the world, and it's not ours. And so about the salt mines and how the world's largest salt deposits. So what I learned from the actual NSA is the world's biggest underground base in the world is under Lake Erie. So imagine, through my own research, I started finding out there's newspaper articles back in the 1800s recording this phenomenon over Lake Erie. They called them wizard lights. And they'd send out boats saying they've seen these apparitions of like these balls of fire out over Lake Erie, and thinking maybe a ship was on fire and it was a weird optical illusion. The ships would go out, rescue crews, and they would find nothing. So this actual activity has been going on over Lake Erie for a very long time. And I like that because it takes away this idea that, well, maybe they're ours. If it was happening in the 1800s, but the cool thing is the phenomenon has not ended. It's ongoing still to this day, which is, I guess, why we're talking right now.
Absolutely. Some people say that they think that what you're looking at is under certain atmospheric conditions, you can see lighting from the Canadian border.
I heard all that.
How do you answer to that explanation?
Well, just go to my YouTube page. It's Michael Lee Hill, and watch my film of them coming up out of Lake Erie and then igniting into a ball of fire, while the one that's next to it goes down into the lake. You can see this ball of light come down, and all of a sudden you can see its reflection on the lake, and it's got done. But right next to it, one comes up out of the lake, and I can tell you, Bigelow Aerospace knows all of this. They've been studying it for a long time. And also the UK Ministry of Defense investigator Gary Hernandez pointed me to some of the UK Ministry of Defense recently declassified documentation. And they said the real deal are these orbs of light. And in some process that they don't know about, 3 of these orbs of light, or chariots of fire, can come together and create one giant triangular craft that's seen over Phoenix and being seen worldwide right now. This isn't my opinion. I'm not just some crazy guitar player. This is the UK Ministry of Defense. The Pentagon program said, we've been studying this phenomenon over what's called the Utah Skinwalker Ranch. And they're called skinwalkers, and at that area, because the Native American Indians would see these orbs of light come down and take on biological life form, whether it was a very large, huge deer or a wolf. And this was actually documented by Bigelow's people because he bought the ranch to study this phenomenon. So you can imagine when they contacted me in 2011, they told me, we're contacting you because we know you're in contact with the real thing because we've been studying it. So the point is, this is Bigelow Aerospace funded by the Pentagon and the UK Ministry of Defense saying the intelligence behind this phenomenon we're experiencing can become anything physical, both biological and technological. And what I learned from the Bigelow investigator as well is he said these objects have less to do with UFOs made of nuts and bolts and metal craft. It has more to do with portals and time travel. So, man, this is a lot bigger than people know. But what I can tell you is I'm in contact with them, and the makers of the pyramids have returned. So a lot's going to be revealed.
That's very cool, man. So again, what date was this when you shot this over Lake Erie? Do you remember? Was it what year and date?
You know what happened is I lived very close to Lake Erie. I lived in East Lake, and I was, 10 houses away from the lake. So I started to see this phenomenon, not knowing what it was. And I started going down to the lake and just filming, and I started to accumulate such a library. That's when, it grew to a lot. And my YouTube page right now has over 5 million views. And that's what drew the History Channel. So I was going down night after night. I would have my Sony Handycam on a camcorder, on a tripod, and go down around sunset. And I was just ready. If a big ball of light went by, I was ready to film them. It took me a while to even learn, take the focus off, because once that object gets out of frame, if it has to refocus, man, you're done. So, my actually filming them got better with time, but it got to the point where, man, I hated filming them. You can imagine these beautiful multi-dimensional color, like miniature supernovas are right out in front of you, and you're looking at it through a little black and white viewfinder. It's like, man. So I started to be like, we got this conversation going. I'm going, listen, I'm not going to film you anymore until you do something different. Come closer. If not, I'm going to sit here. I want what I'm seeing to hit my retina, So they began to let me know they knew I was filming them. And it started a communication between they and I that actually ended in me meeting them face to face in person, not channeling or anything. And they told me we were once known as the Anunnaki in your past. These are the ancient aliens that the Ancient Aliens show is about. At that time, there was no ancient aliens. I had no idea what an Anunnaki even was. You know what I mean? But they said, we heard you've been filming us over Lake Erie. So we wanted to talk to you about that. And we heard that you were on the History Channel. And it was revealed on, the UFO Hunters show that you don't have normal human blood. And we want to talk to you because it's an indicator that you're of our hybrid bloodline. And so it's been quite a trip. That was in 2008. So it started with the footage.
Yeah, your classic footage. What year was the classic footage that you sent me?
That was in 2008. Right. I filmed it, but the second clip I sent you was only maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And that's really cool because there's 3 witnesses. That's what the Bigelow investigator said, right. When there's multiple witnesses. So you'll hear this other dude came up and he's like, hey, man, what is that?
Yeah.
So you can hear our dialogue. And he goes, what? So what's really great in that clip is he says, man, it's really weird when they just show up out of nowhere. And right when he said that, one showed up out of nowhere. I got it on film, So it's almost like they're having fun with it. And that's what Bigelow experienced. He said, if you look into the footage, it was the asked of John Alexander of the government who facilitated the Pentagon funding Bigelow. They asked him, have you come into a conclusion of the intelligence behind the phenomenon. And he said, yes, we have. What we've learned, us in Bigelow, is that it's definitely in control, and it's more complex than we could have ever imagined. And we now know we have encountered the trickster. And the trickster is mainly a Native American Indian concept of who the Anunnaki are, being multi-dimensional intelligence that's been intertwined in human history for a long time. So that's what's important when you see Robert Bigelow on 60 Minutes going, we don't have to wait for them. They've been intertwined in human history right under our noses for a very long time. That's his own words, man.
Michael,
Yeah.
I could talk to you for like 5 hours. I'm going to get started writing this. But the last question I have is, what do you say to skeptics? You know what I mean? And look at your camera and not at me at the screen. Look in your camera. You're answering it. Hey, what do you say to skeptics? Keep an open mind. Keep looking up. I mean, what do you say?
Man, I'm going to tell you the true answer. And Spike TV didn't like this. In 2012, they probably contacted you guys. Spike TV did a TV show on my story, and it's not been allowed to air yet, which is interesting. But at the end of it, they came out and they said, what would you tell the people that still don't believe you, that are skeptical? And I looked at the camera and I said, I'm sorry, you're so misinformed. In this day and age, man, this is not, you're just not looking into the subject, and you've believed what you've been told to believe. Look into it with your own brain, you know? So that, they didn't like that answer. The producer came out from behind. He said, what? We just spent 9 months of our lives, you know, and that's your answer? Sorry, you're so misinformed. So, you know, I had to get into a little bit better explanation, but truly it's like, look into Stephen Greer, look into people of testimony of people that had the need to know, and they were in the right places of government, and their testimonies are now available. They have begun releasing this information through the Disclosure Project to actual government, to Congress. People just don't know yet. It's not their fault, you know, I guess forgive them. They know not what they do, but look into it.
Michael,
this is important.
You're awesome, man. We got to do more.
I'm in. We'll do a mini series.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this thing up there. You know, you may think that, you know, hey man, God, that's kind of thin. It's going to be like, I don't know, probably be 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
It's going to be in our 11 o'clock show on Friday. And then I'd like to do more, you know, so.
Well, there's a lot more because, you know, we've not even touched. Do you know who Graham Hancock is, by the way?
Oh, no, I don't.
He is a New York Times bestselling author. He's had series on the History Channel that are just, he's world famous. His series on the History Channel was called Quest for the Lost Civilization. And he's written a lot of, his recent book, America Before, was just in the New York Times bestseller list just last week. His new book, America Before, is on the bloodline coming. All this other work is like he's been searching for the lost civilization, the lost nation, you know, as we were talking about. And in his new book, he's like, guess what? I found them. They're the Native American Indians. Hey, how about that? With everything to back that up. When I met him, because I met him at Serpent Mound in Ohio, I told him, I said, dude, I feel like you're the cavalry showing up to, you know, to bring actually respect back for the Native American Indian culture and for people to realize, because it's the worst genocided race on this planet.
Tell me,
you know, was committed against us. I'm Iroquois.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a lot of work more to do, Joe.
Mike, thank you. I really appreciate it. Last minute, and you know, I want your video to be well represented, and it's good to talk to you. Really.
God bless. And I feel like I'm in very good hands. You got great energy. And hey, how am I going to be able to see this? Will it be up on?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have it obviously posted on news5cleveland.com. I'll let you know. It'll have the whole lead-in and all the setup as well. There'll be a web story associated with it. And so I'll send you the link. Absolutely.
Awesome. Hey, man, thank you so much for this opportunity to share, and I really appreciate it. Peace.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
Mike's footage is really impressive simply because of the size of Lake Erie.
and the fact that it's a no-fly zone. There's nothing around for something like 60 miles. It really makes these lights that Michael Leahill is videotaping very remarkable.
But are these objects new, or have they been seen before? March 4th, 1988. According to the Cleveland Plain dealer, Sheila Baker sees several small triangular objects shooting out of a huge metallic gray football-shaped object descending over Lake Erie. The U.S. Coast Guard even witnesses this event and makes a written report. Quote, "The smaller objects began hovering in the area where the large object landed. They appeared to be scouting the area." They were never able to fully resolve this event. The description of these objects approaching the lake is eerily similar to Michael's footage from August 18, 2006. But Michael's encounters go further back than the team realizes.
Yesterday in this hour, we told you about the mysterious lights that keep appearing over Lake Erie near Cleveland. Here is some home video of the lights that neighbors in the area say are unlike aircraft or helicopters that fly there. And last night, for the 8th night in a row, they said these lights were back, appearing around 7:30 p.m. and lasting about 2 hours. NASA has a lab in Cleveland called the Glenn Research Center. They test rockets and various aircraft, but say they haven't done any testing this week. A Pentagon official told me the U.S. military has not been testing anything recently in that area. And the FAA acknowledges the light pattern seems different from commercial flight paths in the area. So what on earth is going on? Joining us is UFO expert Nick Pope from our London bureau. Nick ran the British government's UFO project at the Ministry of Defense. Nick, first of all, what do you make of what we're all hearing from Cleveland? 8 days, the lights seem to be similar, but they look unlike anything that people have ever seen.
Yes, it certainly seems to be an interesting wave of sightings, and it's always fascinating when you get activity like this over a period of different nights. I think my key question would be, and it's really a question for the Air Force and the FAA, has anyone checked the radar tapes to see if anything unusual was tracked?
Well, as a matter of fact, I spoke to officials at the FAA today. They checked in with Cleveland Air Traffic Control, and they don't have anything unusual, nothing unusual on the radar, no unusual reporting from any pilots. Is it possible that maybe this is some sort of a helicopter or a rescue service from one of the Cleveland hospitals that people east of the city are looking at a little bit differently?
I wouldn't have thought so, and I've seen some of this footage myself, and what struck me about it was the way that it appeared to change color at some stage, and that's quite interesting. I mean, I think as ever, one would need to get hold of the original camera, the original film footage, and do some proper forensic analysis to get to the bottom of it. But it's certainly interesting, and as I say, the fact that it's come back over several nights and been seen by many different people makes it quite a significant sighting.
Well, and as far as the analysis of the film, we intend to do just that, and it's now several people. We're being told that because this has been happening night after night, people are now gathered on the beaches along Lake Erie near Euclid, Ohio, where this kid first saw it. And apparently, again, for 8 nights in a row, it happens about each night between 7 and 7:30 in the evening. The lights stay up for about 2 hours. Sometimes they dim, sometimes they get brighter, sometimes they move up, they move to one side, and then they eventually disappear. What do you make of it all?
Well, most UFO sightings do turn out to have conventional explanations. They can be lasers, searchlights, fireworks, the Chinese lanterns, which are quite popular, and people let these off at parties and barbecues and things like that. But I think what is interesting is that these days, of course, almost everyone has a cell phone with the capability to take photos and videos. So out of the tens of thousands of people who see UFOs each year, we're getting more and more of this interesting footage. So we're more likely to get to the bottom of these sorts of mysteries.
Well, we certainly hope to get to the bottom of this one. Nick Pope from London, thank you so much, Nick. We will keep you posted on how things go over there. We appreciate it.
Those are buildings. I don't know how anyone can't be seeing that. You know, those lights showed up over Phoenix. And here's lights over Cleveland. It's going down behind that building. What the hell? Whoa! There's a smaller one flying into it or something. Dude, it's angels circling the earth, man. What's this coming up to it, man? No way. I got this on tape, man. Oh, this is a trip.
Dude, there's one stopping right into it. It's hovering.
I know, I see.
Dude, this ain't even right. Oh my god.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Dude, I got it on tape. What the hell? That's the craziest thing ever.
I'm telling you, it's the mothership being guided in this way.
Whoa.
It's so bright, it's reflecting on the lake.
Dude, it's beautiful.
You see that? It's reflecting
Oh, I
on
got
the
it.
lake.
I'm filming it, dude.
I'm just saying it for documentation. Man.
Yeah, it's dude.
It's so bright, it's causing like the sunset with the sun and the lake.
Yeah.
That's important. There was like a refueling or something.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened.
Dude, we just saw something amazing.
This one's coming closer over here, man.
Yeah, here comes another one. See that other one coming out from further west?
Yeah, man. I got it. Look at dude.
Oh, wow. What's going on, buddy? Those like afterburners or some experimental jet?
I don't know, man.
There is NASA out in the area as well.
I don't know what it is, really.
Trust me, I've seen the NASA Lewis Researcher out there. But look how fast it's going. You see that?
Yeah, it took off in a jiffy.
Dude, oh my god.
And it's really, really fun to contemplate that, you know, there may be beings out there who are concerned about our planet and who may give us the opportunity to advance ourselves. It's really fun to contemplate. All the physics that we know on this planet, quantum physics and conventional physics and metallurgy and you know, all of it, it can really encompass a theory of how these ships move. I mean, you've done it yourself, David. proposing, you know, that if you can convert, you know, a mass to...
Oh, look at right under it, dude. It's huge. Look right there in front of us.
Yep.
Huh. Wow. Wow, I've never seen anything like this either. Wow, dude, look at that. Yeah, that's freaking crazy bright. Have you ever seen anything like that? Oh, going away.
Lights over the lake that Eugene Ehrlich first noticed near his Euclid apartment in March. And now that it's May,
there have been more each day. They've been brighter, they've been more colorful, and more people have been seeing them.
After first recording the lights on March 3rd, Eugene says he's heard from people around the world, including Michael Lee Hill. He happens to live right down the street and claims to have seen the same thing.
As I was down at the beach, over my right-hand shoulder, I see this really bright light, and it's coming right up, like really low, right over treetop level.
Hill also recorded his close encounter near Lake Erie and describes the object as a triangle with lights on each corner.
This was absolutely silent until it got right over top of my head, then it kind of sounded like a vacuum cleaner. That's the only sound. It's like this low little hum.
We realized later, the next few days, that we filmed the same exact thing, doing the same formations, and it is just astounding.
This area has always been pretty popular for UFO sightings.
Aaron Clark is with the Cleveland Ufology Project, founded back in 1952. Members meet regularly to talk about the many reported sightings in Northeast Ohio, including this recent round near Euclid.
People really get interested when there's a mystery, and this is one of the biggest mysteries out there.
So what's the deal? You can't help but wonder why so many reported sightings here over Cleveland, and does it maybe have something to do with Lake Erie? By the way, that isn't real.
Lake Erie's always been a pretty mysterious lake. There's always been kind of strange things happening out there.
Sometimes people always wonder if there's connection back to like power plants, other things along those lines, and maybe attracting something on there.
Thomas Wertman is a member of the Cleveland-based group, and he's also part of the national Mutual UFO Network. With a team spread out one night near Lorain, Cleveland, and Euclid, they all investigated what Eugene keeps seeing, and they did it with Eugene's help.
I happened to be on the phone with the witness that same night, and he confirmed, yes, we're both seeing an object in the same direction of the sky. Yes, it's appearing at the same time. It appeared multiple times that night.
And with star charts and flight tracking software, Wertman determined the lights are coming from airplanes, likely making a turn as they land at Hopkins.
So everything pointed in that direction, so there really isn't too much doubt in my mind that's what it was.
But that determination isn't unanimous.
Yeah, they're not airplanes.
I mean, this is completely unusual.
Eugene says he's open to the possibility that it could be anything. But there's little doubt in their mind, like it or not, we are not alone.
Just look up, man, and don't be afraid of this phenomenon. If they meant us harm, we wouldn't be talking right now.
In Cleveland, Mark Zinni, Fox 8 News.
I can't believe I can't get this set. There it is. That is so bright. Dude, you see that? Wow. That's going to be some of the best footage ever. Want to see? Oh, it's fading away.
I see it.
Yeah. Wow. Let's see both. Ah, yeah. Wow. Wow. Did it just kind of like dim out?
Looks like it.
What the fuck?
It's not the first time someone has recorded something mysterious over Lake Erie, but it could be the first time it's this clear.
It was just probably one of the craziest nights of activity I've ever experienced.
Michael Lee Hill is the self-described UFO enthusiast who's releasing this never-before-seen video. According to Hill, the video was shot in November on the east side near his home in Eastlake. It obviously shows something, but what is what's up for debate.
I've been filming these for a long time, and it's just grown to the point where they've let me know. They know I'm sitting there filming them. You know, they'll come in, every year they've come in closer and closer.
I go outside and I look up in the sky and I see them up there. Every so often you see strange lights blinking on and off.
It's not hard to find people who believe the lakeshore is a hotbed for extraterrestrial activity. Last year, in fact, Fox 8 revealed these images of similar lights over the lake. And after our stories aired, a team from the Cleveland Ufology Project tracked the lights. The organization was founded back in 1952, and its members consider themselves experts who determined these were airplanes. But now, Michael says you can't debate it anymore.
The fact that this remains in the screen and is not moving, I believe negates any notion that it's an aircraft.
Now, it goes without saying, but of course we'll say it anyway. NASA, the military, no one will comment on any of this. But we do know planes are always landing and taking off at Hopkins and, of course, on the other side of the lake in Canada. Michael Lee Hill says none of that matters. We'll know more soon enough when they decide to reveal themselves. Mark Zinni, Fox 8 News.
A little perspective here. Wow. That is unbelievably bright out here. Holy shit. How beautiful is that? I'm gonna back out so you can see what's going on. One of them disappeared. Shouldn't have moved. One of them disappeared. Nice.
Underneath it.
Whoa, there's another one. How crazy. Yes. A camcorder. That's what I'm filming right now. It was a UFO. That's my own opinion. You seen it?
Yeah, I'm like, because it's not making no noise. Right. And it was sitting there for a very long time.
Yeah, man. I seen it as well. And these orbs that are out there, you should see it in here. I mean, it's crazy looking. Yeah, right there. You see that? Looks like a star. It's really bright and pulsating right now.
The one right there?
Yeah. Keep an eye on it, man. It's moving.
That was the one that was over here. It was just sitting there for like, what, maybe an hour or so, and then it started going that way.
Crazy.
I thought it was a helicopter, but I ain't hear no noise. I'm like, it's too close to us for it. Not
Check it out. There's another one forming to the right of that one. It's hard to see it.
That's the one moving slow, isn't it?
There's two out there now. There's one behind it. There's one to the right, and you can't see the one to the right. I mean, yeah, you can.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's coming in closer. And this one to the left's getting a lot brighter.
That's the same thing I was happening to that one that left a few minutes ago. Mm-hmm.
Right on.
And then was it coming closer? Because it seemed to be real big. It looked like it was.
Yeah.
A little bigger. But I couldn't find the shape of the object. The whole time it looked like, I'm know how with some speakers, how they got the little legs to hold them up? As it was coming towards us, it looked like a faint, something like an outer, outline. No, maybe I'm tripping.
You won't even believe it. A third one has formed out there, and it's a perfect triangle. Honest to God, in here.
Your camera that strong?
Yeah, check it out.
Mine's not getting nothing. Mine's
Look
not
at it.
that strong.
Check it out.
I started bringing my camera like, yeah, I'm going to catch it one time.
Yeah, man. Oh, look over here.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out.
You got that one.
I'm gonna get this one close up. Whoa. Shit.
And of all the dead giveaways, with this up here and reappearing of stars, it just don't happen.
Yeah, well, there's another one forming right next to it. Wow. I think I got that one just showing up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's freaking mind-blowing.
After, when we was back down the pier, once all the ships and stuff left and did the blast out of our atmosphere, I believe it was the Coast Guard. He came close by, searching the area and stuff, but it was too late. It was gone already.
Oh,
He
no
had
shit.
his lights and everything. Microphone, all that. I'm like, you late. They go. Me and my friend just sitting there laughing. He was like, you late, dude. He came by like 15
Late to the party, man.
15 minutes later he came by. I was like, you way late. They could have like scanned the whole lake by the time you got here and left.
I got both of those in frame right now.
They just sitting there too.
Yeah, they are. They're not in here. I got them to the very edges of the frame, and they're not even moving.
You should leave the frame just like that and watch them start moving.
Yep. The left one is moving a little bit now to the right and back.
Is this zoomed in that close?
Oh yeah. Wow. That's gotta look crazy in there. I mean, there's color and stuff when you see it in, just in the view. Yeah, it'll be really nice color. Wow.
I can't believe it's getting right next to each other.
There's another one. There's a third one.
It's a red one too.
Yeah, man. Holy shit. Wow.
Too bad my camera don't zoom that far.
Wow, man. Holy shit.
Wait. Oh, do we have three?
There's three. Yeah.
Triangle formation.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? Look at that.
Wow, man. Holy shit. Unbelievable. Thank you. That is mind-blowing, man. What's your name?
Sean.
Sean. Sean's here to witness this with us.
What's you guys' name?
My name's Michael, and this
I'm
is
Justin.
Justin. There's one down at the bottom of the lake now.
Yeah.
Holy shit, check this out.
That is a lot. I've never caught four.
Oh my God. But I gotta get back to this.
Where is he going? The one that was at the bottom, he left.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good, because I left that screen anyhow. I want to get these guys.
He's going to the right again now. I mean to the left. He's going back to the left.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Nah, barely.
I still see him. And I just
Yeah.
put my camera up. I just put it up. His light is huge.
Yeah.
Just took the batteries out, everything.
Whoa! Another one just turned on, man. Wow. I caught it on film too.
I think we're like, yeah, we about to give him a show before we go.
Yeah, this is it. Oh.
It does make you wonder, Paul.
They really do, particularly if you're on the fence about this kind of thing. These are not typical lights you see in the sky. They're not shooting stars. They're not from any type of aircraft that we know of. Listen to what this area's top UFO guy thinks about it.
You can see the houses down here, which is fascinating.
UFO enthusiast Michael Lee Hill says video recently posted on YouTube that shows strange lights over Lake Erie is some of the best UFO video he's ever seen.
Look, there's another one.
The video was shot September 18th. In it, a number of bright lights are seen on the horizon, and they don't appear to be typical aircraft lights.
One of the things that I like about this video is you can see the houses, and you can see exactly how high these things are above the houses, which also gives you a little bit of idea of how big these objects are. It's not a little light up there. These are huge balls of light. And their commentary, there's multiple witnesses. There's at least 4 or 5 people talking there. They're all freaking out going, I've never seen anything like this.
We're being invaded. Bill says the recent Lake Erie lights are very similar to mysterious lights that appeared over Phoenix in March of 1997. This sighting became one of the most talked about UFO events in decades.
It's the exact same. They're showing up over Phoenix, over Texas recently, China, the UK.
Hill claims he's personally witnessed hundreds of UFOs. But before you write him off as a crackpot, listen to his take on the mystery plume in the sky over the Pacific this week.
That looked like something military from our end. I didn't get the feel of something higher.
But Hill believes the latest mystery lights over Lake Erie are from a higher power, a benevolent entity that for some reason is making more frequent visits to our area. Michael Lee has appeared on the History Channel and done tons of research on UFO sightings. Could these lights have been flares dropped from planes, which some say explains the Phoenix phenomenon? Well, flares fall from the sky, and these did not, as you saw, so the mystery continues. Live in the Newsplex, Paul Johnson, 19 Action News.
This recording is being prepared by the Cleveland Air Route Traffic Control Center. The subject concerns a UFO report involving Air Shuttle 5959 and Masaba 3179 on February 28, 1996. I hereby certify the following is a true recording of originally recorded transmissions pertaining to the subject UFO report.
Hey, Cleveland, Air Shuttle 5959. We see traffic out there 12 to 1 o'clock, lower altitude. Do you have on the radar? Air Shuttle 5959, that's a negative, sir. I don't have anything out in front of you at 12 to 1 o'clock. Okay. He's down well below you, or can you get an estimate on an altitude on him? Well, it's real difficult. We're in between layers here. I'm just going to estimate him 2,000 feet below us, maybe, and sort of pulsating right about, I don't know, 10 miles downward. Okay, Air Shuttle 5959, I'll keep my eyes open, but I don't see anything. Is that northwest of Detroit? Did you see that light? Yeah. That's what I saw, a real bright white light, sometimes flickering underneath the clouds is where I saw it. Air Shuttle 5959, is that traffic that you saw earlier, do you see him out there any longer? Yeah, Air Shuttle 5959, that's affirmative, and it's a light that kind of, it goes dim and it gets bright. I don't know if we'll get closer to it or what, but it looks like a rotating light around it, like a frisbee type thing that's going around it. Masaba 3179, do you see the same thing? Sir, I saw it coming out of Detroit. I wondered, all I saw was just a couple real bright flashes of light, and it almost looked like lightning, and it caught my eye, and then I kept watching it, and then it looked a little bit less bright, but it looked like it was underneath the cloud deck to me, and this was just as we were coming out of Detroit. Okay, and can you get an altitude on it at all? The light that I saw was just like maybe, I don't know, 25 miles northwest of Detroit. Is that what you're referring to, or are you talking about the light that's at our 12 o'clock now, about 10 miles? Any kind of target out near 12 o'clock? Oh, we got some kind of white light out there at 12 o'clock, and the captain says it's pulsating. It looks like oncoming traffic, but it's just sitting about the same place that it's been the whole, here for about 10 or 15 minutes we've been watching it. Yeah, the Air Shuttle 5959, it looks like it's almost over Saginaw from our position. Okay, Air Shuttle 5959, contact Saginaw, approach control 126.45. I appreciate the information. 3179. 3179, that target looks like it's below us. I would guesstimate maybe 10,000 feet. Around 10,000 feet. Would you think it might be like a reflection, maybe perhaps off a beacon that for some reason it's just one of those weird things, natural phenomena that you're getting a reflection? Because I got nothing out there. I don't know. I mean, we can see a clear, relatively solid cloud deck below us, and this is definitely a distinct whitish, well, there's looking a little red and greenish light sort of pulsating, and it is consonant. It's not a beacon. And Cleveland, Air Shuttle 5959. Go ahead, sir. Yeah, hey, just to keep you advised, we're descending to 4,000 feet right now, and as we descended through 10,000 feet, that object is above us right now. It is not on the ground. It's about 10,000 feet. Okay, sir, we're checking on it right now. I still don't have anything out in front of you at all that I'm showing it. I appreciate you coming back to the frequency and let me know. All right, I'll keep you advised. I'll tell you what, that is weird. If you're sitting there pulsating. Masaba 3179, where is it relative to you right now? 12 o'clock, sir. I'm trying to do a little investigating as to what this might be, and if you would keep me advised on this. Okay, sir, I'm going to blink my lights at him and see if I can get any reaction on him. At 3179, was the other guy that saw that light, was he headed southeast bound, or was he headed the same direction we're going? Well, he was inbound to Saginaw, and actually, when I sent him over to Saginaw, I expected that would be the last I heard from him. He came back up on the frequency and advised me that his clearance was down to 4,000 now, and that he said what he saw was still up above him, and was like a red, he said it was a red and green light that was pulsing and like rotating. And he said he'd keep me advised and give us a report once he got into Saginaw. You don't have a camera on board, do you? We could probably get one from a passenger. You want us to ask? Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting to have a couple pictures. I think it might make our case a little better. Okay, 3179, we got a passenger taking a picture of it right now. And, we got a flight attendant who says that they might have saw the same thing the other night. Masaba 3179, I copy that. Masaba 3179, when you flashed your lights, did you get any response? Didn't appear to, sir. Okay. Okay, Masaba 3179, I'm going to send you over to Minneapolis now, sir. Is it still out here 12 o'clock? Negative, sir. It's at about our 2 o'clock now. We made a turn. Okay, so it's off your right side about 2 o'clock. I'd sure be interested to see those pictures. Can I get you an address that you might be able to send a copy if you guys get a copy of them? Yeah, sure, we can do that. And actually, we made a right turn and he's off about 10 to 11 o'clock. Okay, so he's off your left side. Okay. Okay, 32.9. We'll see. I wonder if those pictures will show anything. Cleveland, Masaba 3179. Masaba 3179, go ahead. Just for your information, I took the picture as captain on the left side, and also tried to take some of the stars above. So the lowest light on those pictures, that only single light at the bottom of the picture should be what you're looking at, and you might be able to get a position with the star if you want to go that far. Okay, great. That's a good idea. I appreciate that. Of course, that's to be the picture of Calmar. There was an instamatic camera. Good night, sir. Good night.
If these orbs are from another planet, why did they choose Cleveland of all places to make an appearance? It might not have been random. Some believe that it may be because of our giant shrine to musicians right here on the lakefront. And kind of looks like a spaceship, doesn't it? Many musicians who are immortalized inside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are believers. So maybe these outer space visitors were just here to visit their followers.
You have an analytical side of your brain and a creative side of your brain. And really, the only two things that I know of that makes both hemispheres fire simultaneously is music and meditation.
Michael Luckman found so many connections between legendary musicians and Martians that he published a book about it, Alien Rock.
After about 3 years of deep research, I've discovered all kinds of amazing links between such rock icons as Elvis, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Jerry Garcia, Jimi Hendrix, and David Bowie.
Luckman says Elvis's link was the most unusual. He claimed to have been visited several times by aliens.
Maybe they're just more open, because if you're not looking, you're not going to see it. I tell people, just look up.
The Ufology Project says most reports around here can be traced back to birds, planes, or Venus. But
there are things that we find that we cannot explain, and those are the things we really want to look at the most.
There's no doubt the Rock Hall and its inductees draw lots of visitors to Cleveland. The question is, has it attracted some from out of this world? Jen Pachano, 19 Action News.
Well, there's certainly a lot of star power in the hall. That's for sure.
We know that.
Yeah. Well, it's not just Toyota now.
News at 11. There's your bus, David.
Hey, Sharon, there's something strange in the neighborhood. An East Lake man says he sees UFOs and has tape to prove it. 19 Action News reporter Harry Boomer live with the story, new at 11.
David, just the name Lake Erie conjures up the images of the unexplainable. What flies over the dark expanses of this great lake, or why? What in the... If you believe coming in from over the lake. You're the first ever see this footage. Flying saucer.
If you're interested in this subject. Came in from Cleveland, came right over top. Right over my...
All right, and that young man over in East Lake told me that he had all kinds of video. We had some of it for you, just all kinds of lights and that. If you believe or not believe, it really doesn't change the reality. You know me, I'm always game for a challenge. So, hey, if you're out there, beam me up.
It's never good when you actually see the ones and the zeros, so...
That's right. There's
we
something...
got a problem there. We'll fix it.
Something spooky going on with that tape. I wonder if there's a connection.
I know. They
Jeff.
didn't want to see it, I guess. So.
Anything on the dual Doppler out there?
No, I mean, now we have... Well,
there was a period of time, we did the shows on it, where there was so much activity in the skies or in Northeast Ohio, it was mind-boggling. There was contrails, there was fighter jets. I'm going to play some of the calls for you. There was different weird sightings in the sky. The military was on the move.
What I look for is expert witness testimony to the phenomena, but then you get people like Michael Lee Hill right here in Cleveland, and when I saw his footage, in fact, I just saw some footage last night where you see possibly 30 to 100 feet above the lake, you see this saucer with all these colored lights spinning around, hovering, making no noise at all. And I was just filming at the Edwards Air Force Base Air Show last weekend, and even the B-2 bomber, the F-117, some of the quieter planes, you can hear those things over the noise of the ripples on the lake. Well, because they're loud. This thing isn't making any noise. And then you see this other disc come hovering up to it, stops and hovers 30 feet above this thing, making no noise, and visits it for only a few seconds, and then takes off. I mean, there's nothing in the arsenal of our military aircraft that can do that unless you're looking at Harrier jets, right, which are one of the noisiest bastards you'll ever hear.
Now, Michael, you're from East Lake.
Yes.
You have this film, right?
Yeah.
Get closer to the microphone, please.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been filming UFOs here for about 3 years. About 3 years ago, I seen craft over the lake, and that sparked my interest. I just went down any nice night and brought my camcorder with me and started filming. So I've accumulated quite a library, and that's how I met David. I was a big fan of David's work. So I sent him some of my footage, and he ended up using 4 of my clips on the Dan Aykroyd.
Now, I am not questioning Michael at all, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking a question here as a talk show host.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that the film isn't doctored? How do you, because with today's technology, you know what I'm trying to say, David, there? You have to be very careful?
You have to be very careful because with today's technology, people can doctor stuff. But with 20 years experience personally as a professional photographer, and also because I'm a filmmaker and an editor, I know what something looks like when it's fake. I mean, you could fake me. If you were going to spend, $100,000 and up on your special effects, but you think of a guy who's, a guitar player, a musician, who's got a little video camera, who doesn't even edit film. What would he do to fake this? What would he need to fake it? Well, where it gets really difficult is when you're hand holding a shot and the background moves consistently in the shot with the object, the UFO. Now, if you put another layer in the editing bay on top of that and you put in a UFO to match the movement of those two frames, the frame of the UFO moving with the background consistently so they're never out of phase, that's the first thing I would look for. If they were out of phase, I would say, okay, that's another layer. That's another layer in the editing bay. But they're totally in phase. When you see the corners of the shot move, the UFO moves consistently with that. And that means you have to have some very expensive equipment to fake something like that.
How long ago, Michael, did you take this? This is over Lake Erie in East Lake, right?
Yes, it's going on to this day. Actually, I've filmed stuff as recent as a month ago. And
Tell us a little bit about it real quick, because we got to go to traffic.
Did you just pick a random day to go down there?
No.
You live on the water?
Yeah, I live about 2 good rock throws from the lake, and so about 3 years ago, I seen a craft, and as I said, I just started going down to the lake and watching the sunset, and I'd just hang out afterwards, and if a big ball of light went by, I'd film it, you know, and...
Well, give us one of the weirdest experiences you filmed down there in East Lake.
Probably one of the weirdest ones was one of the clips that he used in the Dan Aykroyd film, and it was just a big cloud, glowing cloud-looking apparition that...
Different colors?
This one was glowing like almost like a black light color, like a bluish purple color, and had a strobing light that was on the left-hand side of it, and that was a strange one because it was almost like a telepathic communication. I just had this feeling. Something said, you need to go outside and bring your camera. And when I went out, it was there, and I filmed it.
It's very translucent looking, the shot he's talking about, so you can almost see right through it.
We only got a couple minutes before we go to news. I want to play this. When I was doing my show, when all this activity was going on in the sky about 1.5 years ago, these are some of the people that called in. I'll play real quick for you here, okay? Eric, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
How's it going, Mike?
Good, Eric.
Hey, I'm living down here in Jackson Township by the Akron-Canton Airport.
Yeah.
And I was seeing like 11, 12 vapor trails. But I was driving, and I see this low-flying jet. Doesn't look like any of the jets that we have now in the military. I'm just a recent retired Marine, so I kind of know a little bit about the air power that we have. And I just saw it heading due south, and then it banked right and made a course for the southeast.
Is this all unusual?
This is something I haven't seen.
And how long you been there? A while?
Yeah, I've lived here, almost a year now.
Yeah.
I see another vapor trail that's got a turn in it.
So would you agree with me something's going on?
I didn't see anything this morning because I was at work at this time.
Yeah.
But it's kind of...
Wait a minute. Hold on right here. Was this
All
one
right.
here?
Yeah, that one right there.
WTAM 1100, you're in the air.
Mike, it's Craig, first-time caller.
Thank you, Craig.
Hey, I'm on 71 North, and I see something right now. I'm just passing Mansfield.
Yes?
And there's a small black spot, and it probably would be over... Oh, wait. You know what? Never mind. It's a bug on my windshield.
Oh, boy.
Everybody. See, I'm trying to be serious here
and I'm with you
save
on that.
America.
I'm with you. That
And this guy wants to be Bob Hope on me.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
you knew that. You knew that was coming.
Wait. There's a guy at PA who saw it.
He saw it. Where at? Right here?
Slide 5.
Paul, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Hey, Trev, it's Paulie from Solon. How you doing?
Good, Paulie.
Hey, I'm a salesman. I was in central Pennsylvania this morning, and I saw at least 15 of those vapor trails. And when I came into range to hear you talking about this, it freaked me out.
I mean, anybody that was up this morning, and Paul, I appreciate the phone call. Thank you very much, because people think I'm fooling around here.
No,
Anybody that saw this, I can't even convince my own boss, my sports director here, Mike Snyder. He thinks I was on LSD this morning.
I didn't say
I haven't
that.
done
Let's see,
LSD
there
in
you
4
go.
Terry, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon, Terry.
Hey, we were just up on the roof here in Solon at Bedford Gear,
Mhm.
and you can count at least 24 contrails. They're everywhere. And then another thing, we were out golfing out at Oak Knolls this morning, and usually you see like a little Cessna plane flying around. We seen 12 of them take off and fly all around in groups of 3. I mean, that's crazy. So I don't know if that's got something to do with it, but there had to be something going on somewhere.
Yeah, and it's still going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Terry, for that report.
All right, man.
WTAM 1100, you're in the air.
I spent a lot of time sitting in my hot tub looking at the stars. I'm an aviation buff, and amateur astronomy is kind of cool. But one of the things I always like to see is when the space shuttle flies over, they'll tell you on the weather when you can see it, and usually you can see satellites too, right?
Yeah.
Well, I always look for them in the hot tub. Last night at about 9:30, one of them went north to south, and within 10 minutes of that one, I saw one go, I don't know, or southwest to northeast, and I never see them. I've been looking for over a year, and I saw 2 within 10 minutes of each other.
Well, what do you, Mike, I mean, and I don't want to challenge you here. You weren't drinking, were you?
No,
Okay. All right.
Yeah, believe it or not, I wasn't that night. But
All right, no Miller High Lifes, right?
actually, High Life Light. I'm watching the carp.
All right. Let me ask you a question. What do you make out of that then?
I don't know, Mike. But there was also about 10 times more normal air activity. And like I said, I'm a big aviation buff. Geez, I used to fly. I built probably 1,000 model airplanes. I'm really into this stuff, and it kind of creeped me out a little bit. I thought nothing of it. I heard all this stuff this morning.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, what the hell's going on? You know.
So you're with me here. You believe something's going on, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a big. I'm thinking maybe it's like a large-scale military exercise, and the stuff people are calling about planes in formation, contrails that aren't like relatively straight, like you said. The only planes that have the agility to hold that kind of tight formation, especially within close proximity to each other, are fighter jets, Mike.
Aha, Snyder. Aha, did you hear that phone call?
I heard that.
All right.
I'm listening
you know
to
what?
everything.
The defense is starting to rest here.
You're going to rest.
Jennifer, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Hey, Triv. I'm
Yeah.
a first-time caller, so be gentle, okay?
Thank you. I'm gentle with all my women.
What I saw was the very end of last week. My husband and I saw it for a couple of days happening. Now, I got to tell you, I'm a military brat, and I grew up on Army bases. And so it doesn't take a military genius to know when there's a mission going on. And we saw for 2 days Chinooks, those big helicopters with the propellers in the front and the back.
Yeah.
Like they're carrying vessels. And we saw those for 2 days. We saw them going past our house. Now, we're out here in western Medina County.
Jennifer, since you're a military brat, what do you make of it? Can you give us your opinion?
Well, they were obviously moving something. I mean, something that's large enough for a Chinook to carry. I mean, they just don't put those full of cotton balls.
So you think there's some type of military operation going on?
Without a doubt, when they're moving that much equipment, it's got to be equipment or something like that. When they're moving that much stuff, there's definitely something.
Mary, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
How are you today?
Yeah, good, Mary, good.
Nervous, I'm sure, huh?
Well, a little, more curious, Mary, than nervous. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, me too. That's why I'm sitting on 480 in a traffic jam listening to you staring in the skies when I realized what I saw today.
That is?
I saw, well, first of all, on my way 306 to 422, I saw a single Army truck on the road. And then on 422, heading west towards 271 in Solon, I saw 3 Army trucks. And I didn't even think of it until I started listening to you. And it's funny because I do remember saying to myself, my, where are Army trucks coming from? What? I have very rarely do you ever see that on any of 422, 480, 77, 271, and I drive them all the time.
I tell you, Mary, this is getting weirder by the minute. It really. Larry, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Hello, Mike.
Yes, Larry.
This is Larry, first-time caller. Listen to you all the time. Truck driver.
Thank you, Larry.
Listen to your show coming from Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
See all them streamers through the sky, just about all the way from Pittsburgh up here. And as I come up by Twinsburg, Solon area, I saw 2 or 3 of those jets laying down some streamers. And hearing those, I lived on around the Ravenna Arsenal, like that other fellow's talking about. Back during World War II, there used to be some heavy-duty things in there. I don't know what's going on, but don't know if that's part of it, but there's all kind of streamers in that area.
And this is unusual, right, Larry?
I've seen them before, but not like...
Amin.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Amin.
How you doing, Mike?
Good.
I was coming back yesterday from MGM. I needed your help with the times and the directions. I left there about 1:27. Right after you take the ticket, on a turnpike, coming back to Cleveland.
Right.
I was sitting in a passenger seat. I looked up in the sky, and I seen something shoot straight down. Like within seconds, it disappeared. Something like a shooting star.
Was this at night?
Yeah, that was at night. I left there at 1:30, right after you take the ticket on the turnpike.
Now, this was last night?
That was last night, yes.
And the vapor trails were in the sky this morning. There you go. Let's go to Lisa here. Lisa, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Yeah, can you hear me, Mike?
Yes, I can, Lisa.
Yeah. I was listening this morning, driving in at 7:30 to work, going south on Riverview Road, and saw the same thing that y'all been talking about, plus the light. Well, I'm driving south again on Riverview Road. I don't think you can see it where you are in Cleveland, but south of Cleveland, there's the same markings in the sky, and there's that light again. And it's definitely a rainbow pattern.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I mean, there's been a lot of explanations about ice crystals and different
Right.
things like that, but
But I know the streaking that you saw. It's doing the same thing right here, and it's south. It looks like it's pretty clear where you are, but south of Cleveland, I'm seeing the same thing that I saw this morning that everybody was calling in about.
I'll be driving home in about 20 minutes. I'm going to be looking in
you'll
the
see
sky.
it then. Yeah.
Kevin, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Hey, Mike, I just want to tell you what I saw last night when I was driving home. It was about 10:35, in between 10:35 and 10:45. I was headed south on Route 8 around the Stowe area, which is just north of Akron. And I'm looking south in the sky, and I saw a bluish-green light come straight down, and I thought it was maybe a shooting star, but I've never seen a shooting star go straight down into the earth. And when I got home, I told my wife about it, told her I made a wish for her and everything, but I didn't think anything of it until I heard the show today.
Is that the same thing you think Amin saw?
Who?
The caller that called earlier, did you hear him?
I'm not sure. I've been at work.
He's driving home from
Detroit.
Detroit
He was on the
last
turnpike
night.
about 1:30 a.m.
Where were you at?
I was in Stowe, which is north of Akron, and it was about 10:35, 10:45 at night. So it was earlier.
Now he's coming home on the turnpike.
At 1:30 a.m. It
Yeah,
must have been two different things.
So it was two different things.
And it didn't look like any shooting star I'd ever seen before.
Yeah.
It looked distinctly different. It didn't have the kind of trail you would expect a shooting star to have. So I thought it was interesting. I talked to my wife about it for a little bit because it stuck out in my mind that much. And then this morning, all the ruckus about it.
Well,
So I'll let you know.
I'm happy you called. Don, you're on the air in WTAM 1100. In the air.
Hi, Mike Megadagos.
I don't want to be in the air.
Megadagos.
First-time caller.
Well, wait a minute. Thank you.
I drive a big truck from Cleveland out to Youngstown every day, Monday through Friday.
All right.
And up until today, I usually carry a laptop with me with a GPS receiver. And up until today, it's worked flawlessly. No problems whatsoever.
Hey, Don, you better tell him what a GPS system is. I don't think he knows what that is.
A GPS system can pinpoint your location on mapping software on a laptop.
Oh, sort of like Lone Star.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
What it does, it triangulates your position and shows you on the map. And up until about between 8 and 9 o'clock this morning, it was working fine. And then all of a sudden, it just lost all communications from all the satellites.
All right. Okay. All right. I mean, if you're listening, do you need any more? Thank you, Don. Lyle, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Hey, I just came across Ohio Turnpike heading east, and I saw something that got me kind of worried. There's a FEMA convoy heading east. There's about 10 big white, looks like recreation vehicles, all in a convoy. I passed them right around the 71 exit.
Where was this at now?
Ohio Turnpike, and I passed them right around the I-71 exit.
Okay.
But they were heading east on the turnpike.
All right. Okay. Lyle, I appreciate the phone call.
All right.
WTAM 1100, you're in the air.
Trev,
Yes.
listen, I never thought about, I've been sitting in my truck for 20 minutes so I don't lose you because I live on the lake and I'm at Lost Nation Airport, just parked.
Okay.
All right. Monday at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I got a phone call on my cell phone from from a banker. And, I can't smoke in my office, so I go outside to talk to her, and I'm on the phone, and we're just BSing about things. All of a sudden, I work in Highland Heights, off of right behind Cuyahoga County Airport, so I'm used to planes flying all the time. All of a sudden, an F-18 comes flying right over my head. And I said to her, I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, what the heck is this? This was Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, an F-18 flying east to west, right over the airport. And I thought that was so weird because there's planes taking off Cuyahoga County Airport daily. Every 15, 20 minutes there's a plane taking off. And I'm thinking, what is this thing doing right here?
And this was Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, something's going on around here. Something,
You're right.
Yeah,
there is.
There's
and,
definitely.
and I never thought anything of it until all of a sudden I heard you talking about it, and I'm like, wow, maybe there is something, legitimate about this.
Bob, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Hey, you were talking about the trails up in the sky. It was this morning. It was between 6:15 a.m. and 6:30.
Right.
I was getting ready for work, so I took my dogs out before I left. And the sky I don't know, I just happened to look up at the sky, and I said to myself, oh, my God. I said, what the heck happened out here last night? I mean, there was trails everywhere, Mike. There was literally 4, 5, 6 dozen different trails in the sky.
I know. I saw it, too.
It was, I said, now, there's got to be something. I said, these can't be airplane trails. It's got to be something else. But then you bring it up, and I'm going, man, I wasn't seeing things.
No, those were fighter plane vapor trails.
I've never seen so many, and just like you said, it was like a checkerboard, and they ran for miles, as far as I could see this morning, and they just blanketed the whole sky.
See, they thought that would be gone before the sun came up, but it wasn't, and we saw it as Americans. Now we need to be told the truth.
Exactly. I would be real curious to find out what happened last night.
I would pay a lot of money to find out. Sherry, you're in the air on WTAM 1100. Tell Snyder what you saw.
Well, I didn't see the colors, but I'll tell you, I walked out my front door about 5 to 8. Before I ever started my car and heard what Bill Wills was talking about, the sky, I noticed it immediately how many, our Mel calls them contrails, air vapors, whatever.
Right.
But they were everywhere, and I noticed it and thought to myself, something's going on. And then when I finally started my car and heard the guy talking about the colors, I tried to find those colors because the sun was so bright, I just couldn't, you couldn't look up into the sun. So I never really did see the colors, but I saw the contrails. I'm in Sandusky, which is halfway between Toledo and Cleveland. So obviously, if that guy's 20 miles from Toledo and you're in Cleveland, they were 120 miles.
Oh, Sherry, I got to move, but they were all over Northeast Ohio. Watch this, Nights. Keith, tell Snyder what you saw.
Hey.
What'd you see, Keith?
I live in Ashtabula. Got the paper at 5:30 in the morning. Every star in the sky was out this morning, but to the west, it just seemed out. I thought it was maybe like a cloud streak, but now that you've talked about it, that's probably the same thing I saw, were the vapor streaks.
Tell them how many there were.
So I'm going to say probably what I saw from Ashtabula were probably at least a dozen or more in the northwest.
Walt, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, what you saw this morning are known as chemtrails. I saw them this morning when I went outside. I called my wife out. I told her, I says, look at this. It looks like gossamer or something in the sky. Contrails evaporate. These are chemtrails. The reason they're up there is because, have you ever heard of the HAARP project?
No.
It's a high-frequency active auroral research program, HAARP. What they do is they got this program in Alaska.
Walt.
No, seriously, Mike.
Walt. Wait, Walt.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. You're a planned phone call from the government, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, you're trying to explain these fighter planes that were over our sky. Walt, admit it, Walt. Walt, I saw right through you, Walt. Walt, you're a plant. Walt, you're a plant from the government, Walt.
I want to hear what he says, Trip. They were up there, Mike. What they do is they put these chemtrails up in the sky so that they can bounce these signals from HAARP over the horizon. Mike, they mix ammonium hydroxide and barium.
Walt, you're a plant for the government, aren't you?
No, Mike,
yes, you are, Walt. Walt, I can't take it. No, Walt, you're a plant for the government. I will not let that propaganda go over these areas. Kevin, you're in the air on WTAM 1100.
Okay, Trev, I live north of Detroit on Lake St. Clair in Michigan. Southridge Air Force Base is north of Detroit. I heard them scramble military jets last night. The last time I've seen anything of this sort was September 12th when they had the AWACS planes over Chicago and the wind would drift the perfect circles of these surveillance planes over my house. I could see it
every morning I'd see the circles, perfect circles, where they would, they'd surveillance Chicago, Illinois, with the AWACS planes.
All right, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
This is very important to me because people think I'm crazy here. I know something went on last night, okay? I'm not stupid. Again, reiterate, where are you, and tell us what you know.
If you look at a map, you will see that Michigan looks like a mitten. Everybody's a big joke to everybody. Right by the thumb area, under the thumb, there's a lake called Lake St. Clair. It's not one of the Great Lakes. It's a smaller lake. At the north end of that lake up there, where the river meets it, St. Clair River, there's an Air Force base called Southbridge Air Force Base. It's a big refueling tankers. They fly a big bunch of refuelers, to refuel planes. Last night I heard them scramble about 4:30 in the morning. And when they take off, you can know when they take off, but when they scramble, they're gone. I mean, quick, and they're just like a rocket. And last night about 4:30 they did.
How many do you think went up?
I couldn't tell. I've seen them take off 3 abreast at times. So if they took off, if I heard 5, it could have been 15. I mean, I don't know. You hear it's like whatever. You just kind of wait for the big one to hit you, I guess.
But Kevin, the last time this happened was September 12th, the day after September 11th.
I hear them scramble quite often, sometimes, but the last time I seen so many vapor trails was September 12th, 13th, and 14th when the AWACS planes were monitored in Chicago. Remember how they had all them planes and they were doing all the circling? Every morning I'd wake up and there'd be 15 or 20 perfect circles where they were just flying reconnaissance over Chicago, keeping an eye on Chicago for any kind of attacks.
Kevin, I could kiss you on the lips for helping me prove that.
It's 38 states and half of Canada, sir.
Thank you, Kevin.
Good luck to you.
I love you, buddy.
Okay, we love you too, man. Bye-bye.
You think I'm full of it, don't you? I told you something went on last night. I told you.
Yeah. What is that? Standing on the steps. I hope I don't fall. It's been known to happen. Looks like disappearing.
And of all the dead giveaways, this up here and reappearing of stars just don't happen.
Yeah, well, there's another one forming right next to it. Wow. I think I got that one just showing up out of nowhere. Yeah. That's freaking mind-blowing.
When we was back down the pier, once all the ships and stuff left and did the blast out of our atmosphere, I believe it was the Coast Guard. He came close by, searching the area and stuff, but it was too late. It was gone already.
Oh, no
shit.
shit.
Lights and everything, microphone, all that. I'm like, you late. They go. Me and my friend just sitting there laughing. He's like, you late, dude. He came by like 15
Late to the party, man.
15 minutes later he came by. I was like, you way late. They could have like scanned the whole lake by the time he got here and left.
I got both of those in frame right now.
They just sitting there too.
Yeah, they are. They're not in here. I got them to the very edges of the frame, and they're not even moving.
You should leave the frame just like that and watch them start moving.
Yep. The left one is moving a little bit now to the right and back.
Is this zoomed in that close?
Oh yeah. Wow. That's gotta look crazy in there. I mean, there's color and stuff when you see it in, just in the view. Yeah, it'll be really nice color. Wow.
I can't believe it's getting wasn't it cool?
There's another one. There's a third one.
It's a red one too.
Yeah, man. Holy shit. Wow.
Too bad my camera don't zoom that far.
Wow, man. Holy shit.
Wait. Oh, do we have 3?
There's 3. Yeah.
Triangle formation.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? Look at that.
Wow, man. Holy shit. Unbelievable. Thank you. That is mind-blowing, man. What's your name?
Sean.
Sean. Sean's here to witness this with us.
What's you guys name?
My name's Michael, and this
I'm
is
Justin.
Justin. There's one down at the bottom of the lake now.
Yeah.
Holy shit, check this out.
That is a lot. I've never caught 4.
Oh my god. But I gotta get back to this.
Where is he going? The one that was at the bottom, he left.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good, because I left that screen anyhow. I want to get these guys.